Hi, 10th grade. This is Miss Stapp with your asynchronous lesson for today. This lesson plan is going to be over A4, inquiring and analyzing. And then this time we're doing our design brief. I have a brief description at the top of the lesson plan. And if you're following along with me, you're at lessons under the content library, and this is A4. You will have this lesson plan here. It is also in your homework, so you can go to either place. There will be the description of the design brief and then a step-by-step walk you through each point that I would like to see, much like we did the problem statement. So what I'd like you to do first, and this is just to help you, don't get confused by this. It's not listed under steps, but if you go back to A1 and paste your problem statement opening sentence here, you will be reflecting on that as you work your way through this paragraph that you'll be writing. Each of the little points here that I'm about to give you are a sentence or two that should be in your paragraph. And for now, I would just like you to call your company our company. When we meet together next, you'll be designing a name for your company with your group. But for this paragraph about your system design, just use our company. And we can go back in later and just put the name of your group up at the top of this paragraph. So step one, your company and the solution. So I've given you a little formula just like I did in the problem statement, and you can just fill that in. You're welcome to change this up a little bit from my sentence starter, but let's try it. It says here, our company is going to design, and then you drop in your system description for, and then you drop in your target audience that you got from the problem statement. If you can't remember, reflect back where we cut and pasted it above to that specific audience that you're talking about. If you had problems with that problem statement formula, I have reflected on that in your feedback from A1, and you can go and correct it now. That's so you're ready to use that really nice problem statement using the formula I gave you for your summative. All right. I am giving you below several examples. I'll let you read them yourself. Again, I'm using different examples of different kinds of systems. All right. This is your system. It might say talk about your house a little bit as we go through. Don't get confused. Your paragraph that you're writing over your brief here is all about your system that you're designing within your house. Step two, product description and benefits. Again, that product description is going to be your system. And you can look back at A1 to see what the benefits that your client wanted and that you thought a sustainable house would help with. Now, what benefits will your system in particular help your client with, and what are their goals? I gave you an example sentence here. Our large in-ground water system. So above, I talked about the water and collection cistern, and now I'm getting a little more descriptive. It's large. You can say how many gallons if you want, but again, if you promise something, you are going to have to fulfill it. So if at this point you're not sure how many gallons or how big you want this to be, you can just say large, and it will still give your client that understanding that you're thinking about several members in this household potentially. Our large in-ground water cistern will reduce the local ecological impact by lowering homeowner use of city water as well as reducing utility bills. So those were some of the benefits that my client was looking for, and I will use my system to provide. Step three, identify your company's goals. So now you're thinking again about your client and you are aligning your design company's goals with your client's goals and telling them that that's important to you as well. I have a sentence starter that you can use here. We understand our client's goals of whatever it was that you all decided, and we are committed to this goal or these goals because, and you just fill that in there. All right. Again, and that is a little bit of creative writing, but based on your research and this client that you're designing so far, you can come up with a reasonable conclusion for that. Now you're going to justify your product. Your product, again, is your system. I gave you a starter sentence that you can use here. The type of system you're designing will help homeowners do what? Okay. Describe your research. So choose two of your critical SMART questions from A2 and briefly describe. It says it. Briefly describe them. There we go. Then discuss the answer to the question based on your interview, survey, or internet research. So you guys did not do a survey, so don't get confused by that. This should just be your internet or your interview research. Okay. Here's an example. Some of the things you identified as important in A2. What was the age range? What age range cares more about the environment and decreasing the carbon emission? And I wrote that into my sentences here. Our interviews have reviewed that home buyers between the ages of 25 and 35 consider reducing their carbon and ecological impact when looking for sustainable home systems. Tiny homes with low flow toilet systems offered a sustainable and cost effective solution for environmentally conscious shoppers. I gave you another example below about cost, and I wrote in a little piece on that you can look at if you'd like. I would like you to notice that I did include an in-text citation. Some of you did not go back and use my bibliography and in-text citation pages. And if you are using web pages in particular for in-text citations, you will use the first couple of names in that company's website to identify that that is information that you received from the website. And then you'll have the full citation in your works cited. Okay. So step 6, propose the solution using Access FM to justify. So name your solution and then highlight one element of Access FM function and one element of Access FM materials, okay? So you will go in there and look at a couple that are important, that you think are important to this solution. I've given you an example here below and how I do that in text citation. All right. Step 7 is state the constraints. I have not given you the constraints until now, but here they are. You're going to say that your due date for the design of this product is November 9th for B days. It is November 10th if you're an A day student. You have unlimited money, and I've said this, and resources for this product. However, based on what you decided your client's needs were, you might give a price. Like if you're a client, it is important for your client that this be affordable, then you're going to want to make your system within that affordable range. And you can choose that and let me know what it is. Based on some of your research, you may be finding out how much these systems cost. And you can use that to decide how affordable you can make yours. Let's see. The other thing that you might want to think about are resources. So you are in a specialized place somewhere out there in the world. What resources are accessible to you there? So that might be a little piece that you include that I am only using resources that are recycled or found in this area. So that would be your constraints as well. You would state those. And then the last thing, the wrap up for this paragraph is why is this product important? Reflect on what you put in A2 at the very bottom, why it's important for your company to solve this problem. And now, why is it important that your product is this solution? So kind of reword that last sentence. Why is it important? And restate that here in a view of the product that you're providing, your system. Again, at the very bottom, you don't see it here, but on step 9, you are going to create the brief. So if you went through and wrote, like I did, those little sentences or two that you're going to use under each one of my bullet points, now it's time to go back and remove that, and you're just going to have a really nice paragraph that you turn in. Fill this out on your homework page. It's a formative, but it is not graded. It's just a feedback formative. I'm looking to see if you did it. The turn-in will be a part of your web page that you design, and I'll create another little video introducing you to that. But that web page will be due at the end of the day let's see, for A days, it's going to be on the 10th. And for B days, it's going to be on the 11th. Remember, it's always due at midnight. And I will show you the next video on this day you will see is a little introduction to what that is going to look like. If you have these A1, A2, A3, and A4 almost done and just need some little tweaks, it should not take you very long to design your web page, which will be fun. And we're going to do that with Adobe Spark. Thank you guys for listening. Good luck on this today. Get as much done with the time that you have for this class period, and I will see you next time.